Hi, and thanks for joining me for this sourcing webinar. We're going to look at one specific job requirement and analyze it. We will analyze the technical vocabulary, we will analyze the role itself, and then dive deeper to how to actually find the specific IT professional. So let's dive right in.
Here it is, and you will see it in your vendors portal either today or tomorrow. So we are looking at a front-end JavaScript developer. And those of you who went through the program, or those of you who join these sessions frequently, you are like, oh my God, like I already know what to do. I know what is front-end, I know what is JavaScript. So that's great. That's very cool. So what more can we do? Like, how can we extract something interesting out of it? Because eventually, at the end of the day, it just comes down to a few must-have skills. So just out of curiosity, guys, I'm looking at your names, like Valentina, you are actually about to join the next program, right? September 20th starting. Sarah, Mocht, you guys joined some of my previous sessions. So who of you is not comfortable with front-end React developer yet? Can you just type in chat? Like, who of you needs some further explanation? I'll dedicate a few minutes, and if not, then I'll just assume you guys already know. You, Erika, you are not confident yet, right? Okay, I still need to practice, but in general, I know. Very cool. Okay. So you know what? I'll run through the basics just within 3 minutes. So looking at the mind map, there is right here front end, back end, and full stack. So this takes 70% of all these roles. So front end is what we as users can see. Back end is where the business logic is stored. And full stack developers usually do both front end and back end. And on the front end, usually developers use JavaScript as a programming language. And JavaScript comes with a few frameworks. And years ago, it was a little more difficult because there were so many different frameworks. But these days, most of the teams use either React or Angular or Next.js or some variations of these, but these are the mainstream. And this is also the case of this one. So the hiring manager is just saying, hey, Michael, we need someone who has some decent experience with JavaScript, at least 3 years, some experience with React, at least 2 years, and someone who has already written unit tests. The team is based in the UK, so English is quite important. You know, the developer needs to be able to discuss on Zoom, and you know, one thing is just to type on Slack, and the other thing is just to talk to native speakers. It's always more challenging because, and even in my case, when I talk to someone who is not a native speaker, I feel a little better because I'm like, we are on the same boat. But when I talk to some Irish guy, I mean, like, that's crazy. So it's just so much more important in this case because the other developers in the company are also based in the UK. So they are like, you know, and the developer needs to understand this UK accent. So it comes back to those of you guys who speak with potential candidates in your local language. Just make sure that you somehow double check their English skills. And some of you may wonder, like, what I'm actually talking about is vendors portal. Like, we have this program for partners. Those of you who go through the program, or those of you who are already senior enough not to go through the program. So we onboard you as our recruitment partners, local partners on the ground, and you submit candidates and we split commission. I cannot see Valerie here, but the most recent payment actually goes to Valerie. No, he's not here today. So we cannot celebrate with him. I guess the payment goes out today. So you see, it's really straightforward. It's just programming language JavaScript, framework React, and unit testing. That's pretty much it. Now, what's next? The nice to have skills: test-driven development using Jest. Jest is a framework. Again, we can refer to the JavaScript development landscape on the page number 14 in the mind maps booklet. We can see a few testing frameworks on the bottom right. Jest is one of these frameworks. So the hiring manager said the framework itself is not as important, just because the developer can learn some other framework if he or she has worked with Selenium or Jasmine or Karma or some other framework. So, right, like obviously the developer needs to be well familiar with JavaScript. That's a programming language. It's like English, right? You cannot get someone to talk in English within 2 weeks if he hasn't used English ever. But some little framework, people can just learn within a day. So that's why it's nice to have a test-driven development using this particular framework. Interest developing health tech platforms or applications is very welcome. Someone who is genuinely interested in health tech or digital health, which is really booming these days. It's an area probably not as popular as fintech, but it's growing like crazy. So we are talking about, by the way, this company provides or creates a platform for daycare providers. So you can actually imagine there are all these 20,000 care homes in the UK. Just in the UK, and there are 10 times more in Europe, but they only focus on UK for now. They provide some daycare for disabled and old people, for seniors. And today, 60% of them run their business on paper. I mean, I cannot imagine it. I cannot imagine just running some notes, on a paper. I mean, I use notes, I use a paper book, but not like records of who purchased what. That would be really crazy. But they run everything on a paper. So this company created a platform for these daycare units where they can enroll and start using the platform and keep track of everything. So all these people who are living in those daycare providers, they need to keep track of their medication and drugs and all these different metrics. So it eventually helps them focus on serving these people, not taking notes about everything manually. So this is in general a growing area because there are more and more senior people, on the planet, and not just in the UK. So digital health and health tech is very exciting. So probably this could be the angle that we could focus on going forward. It's not any boring website. They have a really cool platform. They are getting quite decent traction. Over 7,000 people are being tracked on this platform. So about, if I recall correctly, about 500 care units, like care homes, have already adopted this system. They subscribe for it. And these 500 daycare homes and enrolled 7,000 people in total who keep track of their medication and drugs and everything. So this could be potentially the angle. It's a 100% remote opportunity. It is for a UK-based company, so that itself is quite interesting for developers in Eastern Europe. It's a health tech startup. It's growing international market. Denisa is asking what is unit testing and TDD. So it's coming here. So the unit testing means that developers need to test the functionality they develop, and they test each individual unit. So the unit is, for example, a function, or how do I explain it? Imagine, for example, now we are looking at this browser, and there is this icon to the left, icon to the right. There is another icon right here. There is another icon here, another icon here, right? Like a few icons. So these are individual functions that the developer created. And each of these functions can be tested individually as a separate standalone unit. So for example, this download button can be tested as a standalone function. This other button can be also tested as a standalone unit. So unit testing means creating tests for individual units. And the unit can be anything. It could be a function, it could be a button, it could be this button, it could be share buttons, it could be this link here. Anything can be a unit in software development. And developers create these unit tests. So they test individual functionality to make sure that nothing breaks. They, years ago, before unit testing was a thing, there were only manual testers. And the manual tester would have to every day just start testing, clicking here and click all these buttons just to make sure that everything still works. But now with unit testing, developers write code, which is testing these individual units automatically. And TDD is a methodology. It's a style of development. So it means test-driven development. So in other words, developers first write tests. So that's why test-driven development. They first write tests. I'll type it here, test-driven development, TDD. So they write tests, and only then they write functions. So coming back to our example with this button left, button right, and all these buttons on top, if the developer starts working on a project like this, the browser doesn't exist yet. At first, the developer would write unit tests. The unit tests would fail because the functionality is not there yet. And only in the second step, the developer would write the functionality, what the button is supposed to do, actually, to take you back to the previous page. So that's why it is called test-driven development. So coming back to health tech, it is indeed an interesting area, growing area. So this could be the angle how to sell it to potential candidates, because there are lots of front-end JavaScript developers. There is nothing really specific about this opportunity except the project. So the project is interesting. I know the CTO, actually, he's more a CPO, like a chief product officer. There is nothing like really outstanding about the team itself. They are not too senior, the other developers. So that's not the angle we can use. The company, it's a startup. So there are some developers who are keen to join a startup just because they want to have more freedom and more decision-making power. So that's the second selling point. It's not like a corporation or an agency where they would change projects every 3 or 6 months. Like in this case, they would work on one project. And now I'm thinking there is a second interesting angle, which is the data. So when I was asking the chief product officer what is really interesting, what is so exciting about the product, he mentioned they store lots of data about all these people who live in those care homes. So all everything about what do they eat, like all the meals, all the drugs they take, all the heart rate, all the measures they take, they store in this system. So they have millions of data points, which could be interesting for developers who are keen to work with data and the big data going forward. So that's another interesting angle. So I'll just type it here, some selling points. So the first one would be health tech. The second would be UK-based startup. And the third would be the data / big data going forward. Otherwise, the technical stack, it is modern, but it's not I mean, crazy by any means. It's not crazy old. It's not crazy new. Like, it's relatively standard, modern technical stack. So they use Node.js on the backend. They use Amazon Web Services. They go serverless. You cannot see. Oh no, gosh! Again, it's by default just hosts and panelists. Thanks for letting me know. So I'll copy also the TDD and selling points. I don't know, this Zoom usually has by default the message only to panelists. And I mean, like, why is this setting there? Okay, now you should see everything I posted before. Thanks for letting me know. So the technical stack is relatively standard, which is also a good thing. They use React Native, they have mobile applications. So you can imagine this team of about 8 or 10 people, not just developers, but the chief product officer, UX designer. You can imagine a team of up to 10 people, a small team, and they develop front-end website, back-end service, and 2 mobile applications, one Angular, not Angular, but Android, and the other iOS. So that they use React Native for that. React Native is the JavaScript framework for cross-platform mobile applications. They have DevOps set up with REST APIs, microservices. So it's the standard modern technical stack, which is good. That's good. What is also interesting, they provide 20 days paid vacation days, even though this is a freelance position. So the freelancer would send an invoice even during a vacation. So that's quite interesting. But now when I'm thinking about it, even the client from the last week, they also had something similar. So a freelance engagement, but they give 20 days paid vacations, plus public holidays also. So it's like, it's not like the traditional freelance, it's like employed, but you send an invoice. A flexible working time, fully remote, desired start date as soon as possible. Uplifting team spirit, innovating work culture, data scalability. This is the interesting selling point, especially for those who are excited about health tech. And yeah, that's pretty much it about these skills. So the more we analyze these JDs, the more you will hopefully see that it's not any rocket science. On the other hand, we go an extra mile to make it really straightforward. So this is not what we've received from the hiring manager. Usually it's a mess, 20 bullet points, So we need to really extract what is important. Usually with every new client, I have at least 45 minutes. This was even longer, up to 1 hour long call where we discuss what is interesting about the company, about the team, about the project, what angle to take, what are the skills. And sometimes the CTO or CPO, Chief Product Officer in this case, they say like everything is a must-have, but then we have a few examples, like what if we bring you a candidate who has not used Jest? Would you still consider such candidate? I was like, oh, actually, yes, because he can learn Jest within a day or two. So so we make it even easier for you guys also to see who could be a good fit. Okay, so then the question is, how do we find such a person, right? And we looked at a front-end React developer a few weeks ago, or a month, 2 months probably. I don't even remember. It feels like we had at least 20 of these webinars, right? What, 15 at least, I guess. So I'll just open it up really quick, and we will see what kind of message could we send to someone. So the skill, not React Native, that's a different one. React Native is for cross-platform mobile app development. So we only need React. I was also asking, what if we bring a candidate who does not know React? Is it a big deal? And in this case, it was a big deal because they don't have a team big enough to justify someone to spend a few weeks learning React. So React.js, what is the salary, by the way? It should be about 40,000, yes, 40, 50,000 a year. So it's not a senior yet. A senior would ask for at least 50,000. So we are looking at a mid-year, someone with 4 or 5 years of experience, not a junior, because a junior would not have 3 years of experience, right? But also not at a senior, because the senior would not be interested in 40,000 euros per year. So we can look for someone, say 4 to 5 years of experience. I'll use 6, just because sometimes developers have some internships, and LinkedIn shows that as a work experience also. So and some of you asked about the location for remote. Who asked? Depty, yeah, you ask remote only from Europe. Yes, only from Europe because of the time zone. And they are in the UK. So I mentioned like 1 to 2 hours difference would be still acceptable. But like 4, 5, 6 hours, most likely not. So not even, I don't know, Brazil. So what we could do is to look at, and then the question is what locations to target. Also, given the budget constraint, they have team members already in the UK. And one of the reasons why now they want someone to work remotely is also to decrease costs, because in the UK, in London, they have a junior for 50,000 euros. So now they are thinking, okay, well, we can have a mid-level to senior person for 50,000. Like, why don't we just get someone to work remotely? So it does not make sense to look for a developer in, I know, France or in the UK, in Germany, but rather in the Central Europe or Eastern Europe. Just thinking about the salary. So maybe Poland would still be a good fit. Estonia, Romania, Croatia, Bulgaria, Serbia. Why don't we try Serbia? Do you guys have any preference for any country? And it's really interesting to see what do people want. And it's always Romania, Juliana. Okay. You were just about to say Serbia. It's really interesting to see what are people interested in. So when I don't talk to people, sometimes I ask them what do they desire, or what do they see as the next career step. And it's interesting to see that people who are in different places geographically, like they tend to seek for better opportunities to the West, which is sort of understandable. And well, I haven't discovered America here with this statement, but still, for example, when I talk to people, for example, in Germany, then they are interested in those opportunities for San Francisco-based startups. When we talk to people, for example, in Slovakia or Czech Republic, they are excited about companies in the UK, for example. When we talk to developers in Romania, they are excited about opportunities in Czech Republic, for example, or Slovakia. So it's interesting how does this work, and with this remote work, it's really interesting how these also salaries level up, because what do developers ask in Romania is also getting crazy. So Nicola from Serbia. Let's see. Front-end developer with lots of experience working in React and Next.js. I mentioned Next.js in the new mind map. So you guys are going to get it soon using tools like Redux. They also use Redux in this company. Styled components, TypeScript. So he was a senior front-end engineer for the last month. Well, he just joined this company, so I guess we will not approach him if he just started. Still in his notice period, or not notice, but trial period. And he started in 2015. So about 5.5, 6 years of experience. That he could be a good fit. A very straightforward profile. Like we see a profile of a front-end developer who only focuses on front-end, and that's a good thing. He started as a front-end developer to build the web interface, and then he was progressing from one company to another to a senior developer, and now uses the latest and greatest when it comes to front-end development: React, Redux, Next.js. So there is not much more to desire from such person. But since he just started, it's a no. Mladen, proficient JavaScript developer with 5 years experience in front-end development, JavaScript, ECMAScript 6, 2017, GraphQL, that's a database, willingness to learn, master progressive web applications, backend development, DevOps, and CI/CD. So it's interesting. This developer is also a front-end developer, but he apparently wants to shift, or is already shifting, to backend development and the DevOps setup. So he will become a full-stack developer. So the previous one was just specializing in front-end, but this one, Mladen, he is transitioning to a full-stack developer. So a full-stack is someone who can do both backend and front-end. Usually, it's either a front-end developer who becomes a full-stack developer, or a backend developer who becomes a full-stack. They start with either or, and then they learn the other part of the full stack. So Mladen started as a web developer with WordPress. It is also one of these roles on the page number 7. It's right here on top. The web developer, someone who usually uses one of the content management systems, such as WordPress. You probably see it somewhere here, a very small screen right here. So WordPress, content management systems, Joomla, Drupal, some of these. So he also started as the web developer using content management system. And then he learned most likely React or Angular, but now he uses React. And he wants to transition to full stack development. So you see from a web developer to front end to full stack. So for him, it's not such a good opportunity because in this role that we would propose to him, he would only focus on front end. So most likely he would not be too excited about it. Like if we had a full stack developer position, don't we have a full stack developer position? Denisa, if you are now listening, like this could be a good candidate for a full stack developer position. We could position it this way to him, like, hey, Mladen, we have a full stack developer position. I see you are a seasoned front-end developer and want to learn a backend. So we have here a full stack developer position. Check it out. Can I arrange an introduction with the CTO? Alexander, software developer, React for 5 years, and well, C++, probably also a backend developer, most likely because he works with Node.js and C++. Probably not. I'll move on to someone else. Vladimir. Front-end developer focused on JavaScript and related frameworks with 5 years of experience working on both startups and large corporations. His GitHub, his website, his blog. He's a JavaScript engineer using React with Flow, styled components, SCSS, Redux, and Jest. It's the same he would use in this new job. He conducted multiple React interviews. He used to be an UI designer, UI engineer. Also used, but used Angular. Yes, he used Angular here in this job. Also Angular here in this job. So it's more Angular than React. It's more Angular than React, and only, actually no, because just here it's 1.5 years plus another half year in this company. Well, it's so-so. Like if we couldn't find anyone else, he would probably pass the test. If we round 1.5 years up, then it is almost 2 years, right? And overall, he has about 5 years of experience. But let's review 1 or 2 more profiles, and maybe we will find someone who is exactly a good fit. So React JS. Interesting. He wrote both React.js and React, and I think he did it intentionally. Oh no, sorry, it's React Native then. So forget it. So React Native. Web and mobile developer, React Native developer. So he created mobile applications for iOS and Android. React developer, UI, English consultant, English tutor. Not really. Maybe not there yet. Oh, well, here 3 months, here 1 year, but it was React Native and web and mobile. Probably not exactly the fit. He could be a good fit for another position, but not for this one. What about Bojan? Nicola has a great photo here, standing out. Bojan Ivanac. Hi there, I'm a JavaScript developer located in Serbia. Around 4 years of experience with React. That's great. He has experience with React, React Native, Redux. Great. That's pretty much the technical stack that this client also uses. Together with Next.js, cool. Node.js on the backend, great. Also MongoDB. So it's pretty much the same technical stack. 4 years of experience. So far, this looks like the best fit. I prefer working mostly on the front-end side of things, but I can handle writing code for backend. That's great. He would only need to focus on the front-end. So, yeah, I mean, he seems to be the best fit so far. He started as junior 4 years ago. Then he was a mid-level developer. Very cool, very cool. So, I guess this is the best fit. Also because he had the experience with precisely the right technologies, React, React Native, Next.js, MongoDB, exactly what do they use in the UK. Where was the technical stack? Right here. So you see Node.js on the backend, MongoDB database, non-relational, Amazon Web Services, React, Redux, Jest, and React Native. It's exactly what Bojan had experience with. So it's the best candidate so far. Health. No way. Look at these guys. It cannot get better. Can it get better? Tell me, guys. Can it get better? Hopefully you are still watching because this is the most exciting part of this webinar. So he cares about health. Like how likely this is, right? And I can see some of you already typing him, right? Juliana, you are like, oh, what's his name? What's his name? So he cares about health. So what more do we want? And probably before I continue, like there is this little trick, I just searched on this site. So Command F, and I just type health just to see, if it appears somewhere on the website. And it appeared right here. So Bojan cares about health. Like on the other hand, who doesn't care about health, right? It doesn't tell us anything because everyone is to some extent concerned about at least their own health. But now we have some something to refer to. Like I would write him something like, let's see, this will be fun. This is the most exciting part of the whole webinar, at least for me. So the subject we will leave for later. What do we write him? Would you guys like to propose something, and we will take it from there? Who would like to brainstorm on their own? Just say yes. No one, or there is a delay? There is probably a delay. Okay, so if no one, then I'll just continue. Okay, so his name is Bojan. So I would write something like, hi, Bojan. Hi, Bojan. Now, we know he's a front-end developer. We know he's a great fit technically. And we would like to connect with the health interest. So what do we write? Hi, Boyan. I noticed you care about health. Boom. Who doesn't, right? But I'll not write who doesn't. So what else does he care, by the way? Health and poverty, education, environment, nothing else really meets. So no, that's okay. I noticed you care about health. I'm working with an engineering team that provides or creates a platform, a health tech platform for gosh, what was the word? Care homes, daycare. They provide daycare, care homes in the UK. They provide daycare. This is not my traditional vocabulary, as you can see. This is a little beyond IT and beyond my business vocabulary. So I'm like daycare units. What is that? Platform for daycare providers in the UK. Disabled people or seniors. A really cool health tech platform for daycare providers in the UK. Over 7,000 disabled people or seniors use it. They are now looking for a front-end developer, front-end React developer. And oh, cool, Valentina, really cool that you write something. So let me just copy paste it, also for others to see. So Valentina, you wrote, we have one nice startup project, UK based, and it's about health tech. Based on your profile, I see you meet must skills, including care for health. And I was thinking it can be very interesting and exciting for you to talk more about it. Cool, cool. I like that you mentioned the startup project in the UK and health tech. I'm not sure if just but usually, for example, fintech is together, right? Fintech. So I would also type health tech together, just because it is usually, what else is health tech, fintech. It's like martech, like marketing technology. You can see I see your skills match the requirements. I see your skills. Probably there should be match the requirements or the job requirements. Based on the profile, I see your skills. So in that case, what do you, Juliana, you propose? I see your skills match the job requirements, including care for health, or interest or excitement. It's like with fintech. Sometimes people just want to work for a fintech company because it's a growing area. It's maybe they have some personal interest. Maybe they see this as a market trend and they want to swim the wave. So and I was thinking it can be very interesting insight for you to learn more about it, for you to learn more about it. they are now looking for a front-end React developer, and I see, actually I can exactly copy paste what you wrote, Juliana. I see your skills match the job requirements perfectly. And then the question is if we need to even continue further, or I can just ask upfront, would you like me to introduce you to the CTO? Or in this case, he's more of a CPO, so Chief Product Officer. So I'll just say to the management team or engineering team. It sounds probably better. Developers want to talk to developers, not managers. It's about health tech, based on your skills measure, including healthcare. And I was thinking, very interesting. Maybe this sentence could be also reused. So we can say, based on what you wrote, if you are interested in health, if you are interested in health, probably it's just redundant because we already mentioned he is interested in health. It's a health tech platform. Erika, you wrote, would you like to know more about the opportunity, or about the job opportunity, probably, or about the work? I would probably say about the work or job opportunity. Would like to know more, or you can just say, would you like to know more, or would you like to discuss it? Even though people don't like to discuss it, I mean, on the phone upfront. So maybe just chat. Would you like to chat about it? Or just opportunity, as Valentina suggests. Would you like to chat about the opportunity? Would you like to chat about the opportunity briefly, or just chat about the opportunity? What do you guys think? Now, some super catchy subject. We know he's passionate about health, so we should somehow mention it, right? Health startup. That's so boring. Health startup, job opportunity. Oh, no. It needs to be something like something catchy, something that triggers some curiosity. What it could be? What do we know about this? 20,000 care homes in the UK provide daycare for disabled. Well, that's too long. So maybe the health tech job opportunity. And before I send it, maybe like this. What do you think, Boyan? Valerie always suggests to type the name. So he's not here, so I'll say it for him. Even though it's questionable if it helps with anything, probably not. Hard to say. Health tech job opportunity, but I could type React, for example, React. And what else? He mentioned React and something else that he's passionate about. No, just React. Well, that's okay. Health tech job opportunity, React remote. Oh my gosh, like who would not click on this? React remote. Exclamation mark, as Philippos likes to always include 1 or 2, but that's probably 2 is too much, or maybe even 1 is a little over the line. So hi, Boyan, I noticed you care about health. I'm working with an engineering team that creates a really cool health tech platform for daycare providers in the UK, over 7,000. They're now looking for a remote front-end React developer from Serbia. And I see your skills match the job requirements perfectly. Would you like to chat about the opportunity? Well, that sounds pretty good. What do you guys say? It's not bad. Sounds good. Okay, then let's send it. Send. Cool. Yeah. We will see. If I don't forget, I'll send you guys an email about his response. We will see where this gets us. But you know what? Now we learned something new. We learned that people write about health on their profile. So what will be the next step? What will be the next step? Now, I'm not sure if there is just a delay or you guys are typing. So I'll assume you are typing. We will put health in our profile. Search. If you meant search, then I guess you meant search, right? So to pay attention to those details. Exactly, that's the second takeaway. So the first one is to have this keyword, not just React. Well, the React is a skill anyway, but health. So let's see. And now we will get those developers who are excited about health. React and health. Yes. We can have React and health, but we also have React here in skills. So it would be redundant, but otherwise, yes, you are right. It could be also there, React and health. So Boyan is here, and another developer, Nemanja Žigic, Lazar. So let's open up just to double check if it still makes sense. Lazar, software engineer. He cares about, oh my, so many. Health, also he cares about health. Okay, well then. Well then, we have here developers who are interested in health. We could start approaching these at first, as they are more likely to respond positively, and then we can remove these, and it will expand the reach to another 1,500 people just in Serbia. So that was fun, wasn't it? I was also quite surprised that we found this developer who is interested in health, and we have a health tech project right here. So hope you guys will find some good candidates if you work with us already. If not, then you can just go to https://recruitinstantly.com and you can start recruiting instantly, or at least the next business day. So unless you have any other questions, guys, I guess we could wrap it up. Thanks, Nicolette. Yes, have a wonderful day in Hungary and also in all these other countries, as you guys mentioned, London, Portugal, India, Mocht, hello. So have a wonderful day or evening or morning. Yes, Juliana, it will be either later today or tomorrow morning. So talk to you soon again. Bye.